The month of June is a celebration of many things. One important event is Juneteenth, so happy Juneteenth, everyone. The second event is Pride Month. When it comes to the intersectionality of Blackness and people's sexual orientation in media, the number has significantly been growing in representation. Now, I'm not saying that representation is as high as it should be, but I have seen a big change in the last 10 years. From movies and shows like Pariah and Pose, seeing more Black queer characters is slowly starting to become a norm. One thing I've noticed about the discussion of Black queer representation in media is that the same movies are always recommended and discussed. Movies like Moonlight, Paris is Burning, and the documentary The Death of Marsha P. Johnson are always on the forefront. Now, don't get me wrong, all of these movies are amazing and deserve recognition, but I think there are some other movies that deserve a lot of hype as well. For this video, I'll be discussing 3 movies that I think everyone should watch for Pride Month.
To get their business and to be professional, all right? We weren't there to look like a bunch of hip-hop, multicultural mess. I mean, Cheryl, look at what she was wearing. She's just all weird. I mean, that dog collar, her hairstyle, her age.
Released in 1996, The Watermelon Woman is an independent movie directed and written by Cheryl Dunye, who also stars as the main character. With only a $300,000 budget, this movie follows the same named character as she attempts to make a documentary about a fictional actress from the 1930s known as the Watermelon Woman. This actress often portrays stereotypical roles like the mammy and housemaids and was often credited as the Watermelon Woman. As Cheryl dives deeper into who Faye, aka the Watermelon Woman, is, she learns more about Black women's history. The deeper she goes into this history, the more she feels like her life is extremely similar to Faye's. She continuously faces blockages by white people, including Women Over the Lesbian Community Archive, who was shown to exclude Black women in queer history. While she's working on her documentary, she meets a white girl named Diana at the video store. Nostalgic, I know, and they quickly begin dating. Her friend and co-worker Tamara calls her out for this because she explains that she's tired of seeing Cheryl date exclusively white women who want to be Black. The two friends have a discussion about how race plays into their dating life, and that's what I find most amazing about this film. Because they are Black, women, and gay, these specific conversations were almost non-existent at the time in media. This movie is so important because it's the first US feature directed by an out lesbian woman. It dives into lesbian representation during that time as well as in the past. Because this movie was directed by Cheryl, it's shown only from a female gaze, which depicts lesbianism in a non-exploitative way. Even though this movie has gained some popularity in the last few years, I still don't think it gets the recognition it deserves. If anyone is interested in watching it, The Watermelon Woman is available on Showtime.
You're just gonna come out here and give me all this information and have me go handle it by myself? You're the one to me anyway.
Okay. I will go with you under one condition. You must promise me that there's not gonna be any drama. Because as soon as there's some drama, I'm out of there.
I promise.
Shot entirely on an iPhone with a $100,000 budget, Tangerine is a comedy drama film that was released in 2015. The movie follows a trans woman named Cindy who just finished her 28-day jail sentence. She and her friend Alexandria look for her pimp's girlfriend on Christmas Eve. Because she is in love with him, she is clearly hurt by this betrayal. At the same time, Alexandria invites pretty much everyone she knows, including one of her Johns named Razmeek, to her singing performance that night. One thing this film does differently is take a lighter approach for this specific subject matter, which I find interesting. Because they are trans, people of color, and sex workers, I'm pretty sure their life has many moments of struggle, but this movie doesn't showcase that. The tone of this movie feels like an adventure of all the crazy things that can happen in one night, like raiding a brothel and doing a job through the car wash. Now, don't get me wrong, there are small amounts of sadness throughout the movie, but viewers are quickly thrown out of that within seconds. Majority of the movie is over the top and borderline slapstick. That includes the dialogue, acting, and even the cinematography, but that's what makes it so great. If anyone wants to watch it, it's available on Netflix right now.
What about making people drink bleach?
It's crazy what you have to do to live your life as who you are. And living your life as a gay person in DC where there's no self-defense, you can't carry this, you can't carry that, no type of weapons at all. What are you supposed to do when you have to defend yourself? So that's when we start going, taking it to the next level.
Because I wanted to include a documentary on my list, I instantly knew Check It would be perfect. Released in 2016, this movie follows a group of young queer Black people who live in Washington, D.C. To protect themselves from the extreme high rate of hate crimes to their community, they decide to create the gang Check It to protect themselves from predators and bullies. Starting that group in 2005, their initial intentions were valid. At the beginning of the movie, it was explained that DC had one of the highest rates of anti-gay violence in the US. Realizing their safety in numbers, their gang grows over to 200 members. As the years went on, the members went from being bullied to being the bully. It's explained through interviews from people outside of their gang that everyone is afraid of them now. If someone looked at them wrong and said anything to them, they would instantly jump them. Even when a group of girls were discussing Check It, one brought up how they brutally jumped a girl who ended up being hospitalized. They're shown to be argumentative and sometimes even combative, but you also get to see their struggles. Because they only focus on a few members, we get to see how race, poverty, and a lack of support plays a part in their pain. A lot of the members were kicked out and forced to create a family with Check It. They often had to work on the streets to take care of themselves, and a lot of the moments that were shown felt very similar to the popular movie Paris is Burning. What I like about this documentary is that there is no clear good or bad. It shows how complex people are and how people's action will always yield results, whatever those results may be. If anyone wants to check it out, the full movie is available on YouTube. I want to say thank you for watching this video, and I would love to hear some of your favorite movies and show recommendations for Pride Month. I want to say happy early Juneteenth and also happy Pride Month. Bye!